So
Good evening,
I was just going to make this first part kind of brief, but I wanted us all just to say who we are. So my name's Stack, and I like to mess with stuff a lot. Anyways, I'm a little incoherent, so bear with me a little bit. I haven't slept for 3 days or something like that. But we do have a project happening on the mezzanine level. It's if you get downstairs or up the escalator, depending upon which way you go. Yeah, we're going to be here all weekend. Basically, go past the security booth, take a right, and we're down there. But come on down and make free phone calls all over the planet and do some other fun things. And we're going to add features literally every day throughout the conference, so nobody gets bored with it. Anyhow, my background's basic. I like to mess with things. I started messing with computers in 1980. Done bits and pieces of this, that, and the other in mechanical and optical and hardware, software design. And this is my cool project sidekick thing. So, next.
How you doing? I'm Beeve. Me and Stack actually started Telephreak. And what year was it? I don't even remember now.
It's 2003.
And basically, it was kind of never really meant to be a club or anything like that. It just sort of kind of ended up that way. And we all kind of started teaming together on different projects, writing software together, like GIDS, different panels, and I wrote like iWar and stuff like that and we, do lots of war dialing and strange stuff. But anyway, so we originally started out as kind of a free voicemail, anonymous voicemail kind of system that people could use. Being if you're a drug dealer or whatever, who knows what people use it for nowadays. But so people could get on there and set up free voicemail accounts and use it anonymously and not worry about any kind of logging or anything, because we don't enable any kind of logging. And then it kind of starts expanding out into conferences, and we started inviting a lot of people to call in from pretty much all over the world, so that we could all discuss like projects about Asterisk. Any kind of general hacking kind of stuff, phone freaking, whatever that we felt
Cooking.
like. Cooking was a big one. So.
Yeah, actually, we met on the
original inception to be something about robots having sex, if I recall?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. Originally, it was going to be pretty much a line that you called where you got some text-to-speech back, and it was kind of like this weird
telephonic.
Yeah, an
anime-ish.
interesting Easter egg on the Telephreak PBX, if anyone's interested.
Yeah, it's still there, isn't it? Yeah.
You can dial 69 as a hidden Easter egg.
No, it's not hidden anymore.
No,
It was,
yeah.
but
Thanks a lot.
Well, that kind of happens occasionally,
Well, not as a shameless plug or anything, but I met Beeve through the Deathrow cluster. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Anybody know what that is?
Oh, sweet.
Hell
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing, because actually there aren't that many OpenVMS systems that you can mess with
That are reliable.
out there. And by the way, OpenVMS doesn't have any random number generator. Don't know if you knew that, but anyhow, I like messing with it a lot. And Beeve runs a place. He owns a place, actually.
Right.
He started that a long time
We pretty
ago.
much met through that, and then you
Yeah, we got in a
started bringing
fight.
up telephone stuff. Yeah. I think
Yeah, we got in a fight on the
Nerd
node
fight.
system.
Right.
Nerd fight.
Yeah. It's a little skirmish,
Yeah.
Anyhow, we like to hang out in the telco channel there in the node system, which is essentially a text BBS for the most
BBS,
part.
yeah.
And it's internal to the OpenVMS cluster there. But we used to hang out in telco and talk about this, that, and the other. And we had another friend named Robot who was like, hey, man, this Asterisk thing's pretty cool. This is about 2003 or so. And so we started messing with it. And found
And
it
this
to
was
be
when it was really incredibly buggy software.
Brands.
But then
kind
again,
of still is.
I was
but
just about to say.
that's all right. I love it.
When did that change?
Yeah.
It's
you
always in
wonder why
beta,
I
but
don't
it's
use
cool.
it.
So is Microsoft Windows. So yeah. no comparison there. But anyhow, we took on Asterisk as just something interesting to look into, and it turned out that it would do all kinds of things that we had always wanted to do as kids that we would have gotten thrown in jail as kids for doing.
Actually, ironically, the only reason I started using it was I couldn't get my my SIP phone to work, and I had a choice between SIP proxy or Asterisk to use it, and I of course picked the much more complex one to set up and get working. So
Well, that's generally how you do that. When you
yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's introduce everybody else. Let's go down the line, man.
Guess it'd be my turn. For the 3 people out there who actually listen to Off the Hook, you might recognize me. I'm not Kevin. And And I kind of came into the scene on Telephreak once they started getting their act together and got the conference together. And I was more or
When did that
less.
happen? When did we get?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like when did
And,
he show
um,
up?
Does he speak of?
I don't quite recall.
I was kind of brought in as the guy who breaks everything. And especially GIDS software.
Oh man.
I can't
Bastard.
name the number of times I was banned from the conference for breaking
Yeah,
all the
like
panels.
at
did
least a dozen times now. I
Yeah,
swear.
At least.
Still doesn't have a big panel.
Yeah, they took away my admin
Yeah,
rights.
yeah, we
because
took
I
away his
kept breaking
admin
all of
rights,
it.
yet he still gets us onto panels at Hope. So who knows?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Telephreak was launched at Hope in 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a combination of things that happened, but essentially we came out here to meet up because we had never met, and I didn't know what Beav even looked like. And he didn't know what I looked like either, and so we ended up like meeting up in the lobby and went to the conference and saw a bunch of great stuff, of course, and been coming back ever since. Sorry to see it go. I have heard though that technically the hotel pen is going to be around for years,
Forever.
so whatever.
So much for the last Hope.
To ruin it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm the rodent. I go by Ratman or whatever. I always have names like that. Let's see. I've known this guy for a long time. What, 10, 15 years, something like that? 10 years. 10 years. So when they started up these projects, I mean, I'm involved in a bunch of things, amateur radio, support the 2600 IRC network. And so when these guys started up this thing, I always tried to help out wherever I could, whether it was breaking their stuff or offering some equipment or bandwidth or whatever, whatever I can to help them out. So also some of the fun things is I get to kick this guy when he gets out of control. I'm like a moderator, so I also sit out there to encourage people to talk and use it and encourage intelligent conversation and then get rid of the non-intelligent conversation. So I help out in some of those respects with Telephreak and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
And Jay Falcon, you want to say anything real quick?
Sure.
So we can move on.
I'm Jay Falcon. Basically, I found Telephreak, what about 2004, 2005. Mostly through the Deathrow cluster, Telephreak. Got involved with the community. It's really become a community in there,
Yeah,
in our IRC channel and places like that. But even more so on a teleconference because you talk. I mean, you can talk to these people. I mean, most people just sit there and they type, and you got instant messenger, you have IRC and all that, but you never get to hear the voice.
yeah, you don't
And
get any
I-
depth until you talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day when I was freaking, when, post or pre-internet, I guess. They were, we had two Alliance teleconferences, and we would call 0700 numbers or 1700 numbers all the time, and I was in there with like VaxBuster and Rogue Agent, all these people, and Telephreak sort of brought some of that back because you can develop that community again, and really have a good time doing it. And so I got more involved with the community. Started, with SleeStack and Beav. We both have our interests in older computers, older systems. The VMS system, X25. With Rodent, there's radios, of course, and he's been around the block a few times. And then the rest of it just sort of all came together. And much like Rodent, I'm sort of a fill-in guy. We all have our strengths and, draw from different backgrounds, but all comes to one. And just like we have Project Telephreak now, it just really kind of pulled it out of the hat at the last second.
Yeah, one time or another too, and most of the time, none of us really live anywhere near each other,
No.
other than these two guys.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, and the only
that's
means
new,
of
so,
communication was
Oh,
like,
that's only in recent times.
yeah.
I'm good. Hi. Yeah, I'm generally the asshole that tends to kick people off of IRC and
He's
off
one
the
type of
panel,
Wiccan
and
god.
anybody who tends to be a general nuisance. I'm responsible for writing about 90% of the software that you see on Telephreak, aside from Asterisk itself, which Digium has done an awesome job on. But
if you say so.
these guys they came up with a really cool system really early on. I got a chance to be a part of it back in 2003. I had just graduated high school, and I was just kind of playing around with Asterisk, just tinkering with VoIP. Came across 2600 net, just kind of played around with that. And Rodent introduced me to SleeStack and Beav at, actually I don't think he introduced me to Beav at the following DEF CON, but 2 DEF CONs later I met Beav. But I'm from the West Coast, and I generally attend DEF CON. I'm not really a New York side. But yeah, it's been a really interesting ride so far, and I'm
And
really.
you used to call in very early on and hang out with
Oh yeah, like
Tron.
I used to hang on for
All of us
hours.
would hang
and
out
hours.
and have a good old time, and we were all
Like,
noobs.
I
Yeah,
remember.
you listen to Tron endlessly, dude.
been
Yeah,
doing it
like
all since
I'm
we
one
were
of few
diapers.
people who are still in the conference world who actually know of Tron. Whom
Fortunately, he's still in jail. I
is
checked.
that officialized
we
in
yet?
custody.
Like I know that his release
Bureau
date
of
is
Prisons
sometime this
until
month,
December.
but if
I didn't think it was
anybody
gonna
can
release till
verify this
February.
for me,
Wow.
I'd appreciate it.
Well, you feel like you're in danger or something? Or?
Well,
Sid
you
will
know, that
protect
guy's
you.
pretty spooky. You know, I've
All
kicked
right.
him off of maybe 24 payphones and
He's
Sebastopol.
used to that, though.
Well, this is why we have the world's only hacker dog.
That's Sid.
He specializes in packet sniffing and intrusion detection, and he does do authentication once you've been packet sniffed. So,
Nice. Nice.
so he takes care of it, you know.
And Rodent sent me a great picture of Sid rack mounted and a 19-inch rack.
He has 19-inch and 23-inch convertible rails. He's pretty versatile. He works on pretty much anything.
So you guys mind if I give a little background on what we're doing right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I
for
think
it,
we
man.
should go ahead and do that.
Yeah, you can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah. We'll see. You know, I'll do
We'll
my
see.
best.
Yeah, I can probably do more technical, but you can give the broader stroke.
Right on. Well, just to go back to the original intention of Telephreak in the first place for me.
Robots having
personally.
sex.
Well, that was, early, but the original intention behind the voicemail system was really where it started was to kind of develop a Swiss bank account for voicemail where we don't know who you are and we don't want to know. And, people have criticized that a little bit here and there, not too heavily, but a little bit. Just being like something that, terrorists might use or whatever. And
Well, fear the people that fear your privacy.
well, the thing is that the terrorists use AT&T's networks all the time, so I don't really see what the point is. Whatever you think a terrorist is. So,
So
anyways, the whole idea was an anonymity, right? And so anyhow, we're extending that idea here, and also one other part of it, which is essentially Telephreak is built out of used and acquired machinery. Beeve donates the bandwidth because he's got it, and also the electricity as well, and a lot of expertise, of course. And then we all donate our time and energy and ideas. So this project here at Hope this year is similar, and we tried to work on it here and there before we got here, but essentially we all kind of knew it was going to happen at the last second because no matter how well you plan something, it just doesn't necessarily go that way, although the effect can be the same.
Right.
So when we got here, we actually started working on it here and there. I waited for the network to come up, and
Several times.
which is it's working awesome now. Those guys are dynamite.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, definitely. Thank you very much if you're out
Props
there.
and
But,
knock.
The knock guys. Yeah.
yeah, Knock's awesome. here.
Hitman.
Yeah. So anyhow, basically everything that's built here at the conference that you can use at your leisure is made out of garbage, and I mean that.
Well,
It's
except-
actually
except
used
the server
every
I got in Dallas. I mean, that's
right. No, totally. I mean everything on site that we set up here is
recycled telephones.
it is. It's all recycled.
recycled phones.
Yeah. It's all used or
phones.
given to us or just happened upon it or whatever. Even the Ethernet cables, which we had to replace quite a few of. So some of those are new. But anyhow, the whole theory behind it was just to create something fun and useful for the conference. And so I'm hoping that we actually are achieving that in
On a
some small
shoestring
part. So.
budget.
Yeah, if you guys think of any feetures and whatnot, we can always get this guy to code it.
Yeah, give us your ideas. We'll do them. We'll try to do them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't
Yeah.
point at me.
Yeah, basically, I'm the weirdo who just kind of sits there, takes up your ideas, and kind of makes them work.
And then you ship them back to us, and then we break them.
Yeah, and then you break it, and then I bitch and drink more beer and throw beer bottles.
We
at
send you beer, dude.
Well, essentially, it's split up into two separate servers. We have a server here locally, here at the NOC, for services like outbound dialing, international dialing, whatnot. And then we're also kind of starting to integrate some little games and some little funness into it so that, for instance, like we have just at the local server here, if you can just tell the system, just dial something interesting. And you might get a Virgin Airlines mobile phone where, it calls up and says, we're connecting you to the aircraft now. Or, you might get
Eiffel Tower
Eiffel Tower
payphones,
payphones.
yes.
And so we have a whole list and randomly picks out. So even if you don't know, anybody you want to call. Just let the system decide to do it for you.
You will
and
be
then
talking
you
to
might
someone.
find yourself surprised and be like, wow, that's really silly. Or
Yeah, actually, let me clarify how you dial that right now, too. Because essentially, the way the features are going to work throughout the conference is you dial 9 if you want a feature, or you just dial out. So you can dial 011 or 1 and your number, and it'll just call whomever you're dialing.
right, 011 international. So.
Yeah, if anyone's
Sorry,
war
yeah.
dialed the elevator system, we could link that into Asterisk, so you
J
can talk to
Falcon.
the people in the elevators. People are getting stuck in them, so you will get the chance
Yeah,
to
don't
talk.
we? Don't we still have a bunch of old elevators from New York?
Elevator relief is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyhow, if you guys have any questions, too, feel free to ask them anytime you want,
Yeah.
like even now.
Now this whole system here, like
There's
we
one right
literally started putting it together 2 days ago here, right?
Here.
No, it was
Really last night, actually.
last night, really, yeah.
So
More,
question.
more about
Yeah.
maybe 3 o'clock in the morning or so.
You guys say you want to be like a Swiss bank for voicemail. Is there any federal regulation or laws?
Not yet.
Yeah,
No,
not,
not
Except
yet.
for the
as of
ITU.
now.
Well, technically, we're not an internet service provider, and we're not providing actual pay-for service, so
Or
we
telco
don't have to live up
services.
to any obligations of anybody, as we're classified as a hobbyist service. So, being as that we're just playing around, we're technically in the free and clear for the moment.
And interesting enough, we have caught
the moment.
on. We used to have a lot of different conference numbers. Like we set it up insanely, kind of ridiculous. But like people who are interested in electronics, go to this one room, and then we realized, or if you're interested in Linux, go to this one room, and it was kind of stupid. So we kind of put it back to just a couple of general conferences. And we noticed one day that some people were on the conference. What were they doing there, Gid? Or do we even?
Something about Western Union credit card numbers.
Yeah,
of some
and
kind.
we quickly took care of that.
Yeah.
But so
Basically, we didn't drop their docs. We didn't
No.
reveal them to the feds. We didn't do anything stupid like that. What we did, we simply
But-
just banned them from our system.
But the point is, like the
Because
voicemail thing,
tell them to
actually,
move
we don't
along.
know what most of it's used for. And, some of the criticisms that I've heard is like, well, what if drug dealers are using it? I'm kind of like, yeah. And so?
They're citizens too. They don't get free service.
Yeah.
Drug dealers need a voicemail as well.
Yeah, actually, I guess what we're saying essentially
dealers
is
need
that
voicemail too.
we can get in trouble for anything these days. I mean, there's really no way to follow all 7.5 million laws across the states and the feds and all that. I'm not really sure if that's humanly possible. I'm sure you could look it up if you spent the rest of your life doing just that or something like that. But we're not breaking the law, man. We're offering a service.
Really
It's
not.
free.
Really?
However you use it is your business. So
Yeah, we're not interested in
I wasn't saying that you were breaking the law, but I was saying that if they, let's say there was an investigation that led them to your service, could they just come and say, we want all the voicemail?
we don't have any logs of any of that. So
Yeah.
we don't, and they could do that because they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Now, Telephreak itself does not actually log any call detail reports. We do not actually
detail
parse
in the
our own
conferences,
CDR
the
records
voicemail.
on the conference or
Yeah,
on
because
the
we don't
on the
want
public
to know.
PBX. Basically, what you can do is you can essentially ban the caller ID number or name of any given person through the blacklist function in Asterisk.
And keep in mind, these guys are complete tools.
Oh yeah,
And
like
so
I
That's why
think
I
one
know
guy,
about
they're real hard
Telephreak.
thing to
one
do.
guy was practicing his rap on the bridge one day.
Oh yeah, he was doing that. He was rapping on the bridge. We listened to it for a little while. It was great. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Could someone who has an Asterisk server on their
Yeah.
side falsify their caller ID?
Yes, and that
Sure,
has
right.
been a trouble of ours in the past, but through network means, for instance, IP tables, we can literally just drop their IP address. So at that point, you just have to re-up your IP address, and for most people, that's more of a pain in the butt to reset your cable modem than to.
They
also
get, they
takes
get
a-
bored and move along. So
It also
Yeah.
takes a little bit of diligence just to keep
Also-
moderating the conferences, because then when they come back once or twice and there's still someone kicking them out, then they're like, "Argh," and then they run out of resources. And
also
they
we
give up
found ways of annoying people who annoy us too. So
very easily.
You should tell them about the different ways that we can transfer people.
yeah, we have a number of different extensions, so we call them, that we can toss people if we don't like them, for instance.
To Tool 42 and 6.
46 and 2.
46 and 2.
Nah, just a stupid song of mine. I have an old RIAA recording of basically somebody prank calling the RIAA.
Banana phone.
There's
The one-
Banana Phone, Rafi's Banana Phone.
Of course. Now, the one that I always wanted to do was get like me, you, and Slee Stack on there and just record a conversation with us, so that whenever we transfer them off the conference, they still think they're on the conference.
So if somebody's
And
like
then they'll
sitting
just
there
stay there and
toning
not
the
bother us.
conference for like a few hours
We
straight.
did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We actually didn't do a recording, but it was just like the conference, and basically based on caller ID.
Right. And basically, the idea is that they'll think they're still toning the conference when in actuality they're like, I'm getting those guys.
In reality, they're
Actually,
just talking to themselves.
They're toning a black
Yeah.
room full of nothing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, we mute
No,
people all
they're-
the time, but
Yeah, muting works well. 'cause
oh
they
yeah,
don't know.
actually, yeah, I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
muting
yeah.
tends to be more of a first-time offense. Like if you're just like echoing, for instance, a lot of people call in through VoIP phones for the first time through their computers, and they'll just automatically like just have a speakerphone and a pair of speakers just set up, and oftentimes they just create a nice echo on the
Echo.
conference.
Yeah, there's lots of ways that you can get on the system, either via DID or direct by IP address, via IAX or SIP. And so a lot of people are experimenting with it. They're like, ooh, voice over IP, and they Google, and eventually they'll find Telephreak. And so we get them on there a lot of times. And so they get like me and Gid going, shut the fuck up, dude. Don't you know how to do VoIP? Like,
Yeah, but for the most part, it's fairly straightforward to connect to the bridge. Literally just through what's called a DID or a direct inward dial. It's essentially just a regular telephone number that connects directly to the box. Another way is through the gateway, which is essentially a third-party service provider, whom we then have like an extra extension or number off of their box. Another way is internationally, once again through DIDs or gateways, and the fourth and final way is through directly into the box over VoIP itself. We currently support both SIP and IAX clients, and yeah, it's pretty nifty.
Anyway, well,
Go on.
So we have a local server here that we're doing stuff, and we plan to set up some games and stuff like that. And we have a server hosted externally because we weren't 100% sure on how well the bandwidth was going to work here.
but we
And
knew it'd be shitty. I mean,
actually, it's been working amazingly. It's been working great. So
I don't know how much throughput you're getting out of it. but
Oh,
we're
you
not
mean on
doing
your
it-
box?
No, on
oh,
the
that's
box here,
crap.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, so so we have an external box so we can have people around the world dial into, and either talk in the conference, either talk to people on the phones downstairs. We've set it up so that people can around the world dial in and just ring our phones, and people kind of get confused and pick it up, and then they're talking to some jerk in Australia or New Zealand or something like that. So
You mean Ken?
Ken Page.
yes, I do mean Ken.
He's the permanent resident of the conference.
And that's pretty much how it works between the setup. And we're adding in more features. We're a little bit behind and very, very tired. But we're
Coffee
still-
and beer.
Yeah,
bring it.
has been pretty much our diet for.
Well, they can bring it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They can-
Oh, okay.
Funnest thing for me so far is the ATAs that we're using actually allow us to use pulse dial telephones without any extra stuff going on.
They do they convert the pulse to the DTMF needed.
Yeah.
Or
Did you ever
Which-
figure out how to do star and pound?
No. Does anybody know how to use a pulse dial phone to dial star or pound? Anybody know?
I thought it
Or
was
can
like
it be
11
done?
or 1-1 real quick, but
It's 1-1.
is it 1-1?
I tried it. I tried that. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. It's totally possible. Yeah.
Oh.
Can you do that in the menu? 'Cause I think I tried it in the menu. And I think you dial 9 to get to the menu, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then I tried to dial something from there and it didn't work.
Oh, did you try to just do 9 and then try to dial a phone number after you dialed 9?
I tried to dial 9, then wait for the menu, and then dial like 1 or something, and that wasn't going through. So I just used the initial dialing part.
Right. What was 1?
No,
that
actually,
was the-
one
that was
one is the
called something fucking
interesting. Yeah,
interesting,
yeah. No, actually, here and there throughout the day today, we've been kind of troubleshooting things and kind of you might have picked up a phone that was being worked on, or
Yeah, I was redoing all those cables. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the Ethernet cables we had to work with weren't very cool, so
Yeah.
we've
Made 'em
replaced
better.
them.
Once
Yeah.
again, like we only started really putting together the IVR yesterday. So
Yeah, totally.
most everything that you're seeing on there is the result of the last 24 hours of.
Well, it's on the fly and for what we need. I mean, we're building the
Yeah.
features for what people are asking for.
Yeah,
what we've
it's
been thinking.
it's
what would be
entirely the
cool
result
here.
of our last minute procrastinations.
Well, if you guys have any of your own phones too, feel free to come up, and we got a couple extra ATAs, and we'll even unplug something that's already there, and you can try it out and mess around and stuff. Or if you have a feature set or anything like that, you know, let us know.
If you make an international call from here, do they get charged for?
Nothing. No, it's all free.
Only, yeah, they would only be charged for if their service provider would charge them for an inbound call.
Okay.
Basically, we're not collecting any rates on these, and we're actually paying out of pocket for this service. Actually, approximately how much money have we spent today?
Today, I looked at it. We have spent, I think it's about $6.50.
Yeah, you guys need to make more calls.
Yeah,
How much did
so
put
we
in
need a
there?
lot more calls.
$200
going-
bucks or something? we threw in?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So come on, guys. Call someone international. Go call them.
yeah.
How do you fund this? Because I'm guessing at some point it might get expensive either.
Like,
With our cheap American dollar.
no doubt.
good
No,
to
like
be an American.
literally, like the bandwidth is graciously donated from Beeve and his work
Oh, and actually run it too.
and Rodent. And
Yeah, the box for Telephreak, we got that from a co-location in Dallas, and that's through Teal Networks.
Yeah.
What about the DID? Who provides the DID?
Now, the DIDs are actually oftentimes free for us as inbound providers, as CLECs tend to make money off of long-distance charges to those DIDs. So we actually don't pay a cent for it. In exchange, your regular phone company is already making the rates just through normal service.
Yeah,
And
we're
they
gonna
just-
we're gonna pull up some inbound tomorrow, big time. Sure.
No.
And they just offer just a DID that goes via SIP or IAX to wherever you point it. So we point it to the Telephreak Asterisk box.
And literally all that does, it just takes a regular phone number and sends it into a VoIP protocol. And we just pick it up wherever we have our Asterisk box hosted.
And we're also using SIP Broker, which gives us a lot of international inbound, like all over the world. If you're sitting in Argentina, you can dial in and whatnot.
As a local.
Yeah.
So what did you say you guys did that was advantageous for them to do a free DID?
We signed up for their service.
Terminate their calls.
No, the companies, they make money off the
Yeah.
inbound termination, either via tariffs or via long distance terminations. So we get the DID for free inbound.
Yeah, for
so
instance,
we don't make any outbound calls with it, and so the CLEC that offers the DID, they make like chump change off of it by giving us free inbound.
So if I want to just pick up the phone number,
You could pick up at one DID and point it to wherever you wanted via SIP or IAX and do just that.
Yeah, you can literally get a free VoIP telephone number just by signing up for
Free
a
inbound.
service like.
One of them is called
actually, if
IP
you-
call.
If you
IP
take a
call,
look,
SIP broker, IAX tel.
if you take a look at the webpage that I have displayed right now, it's our DID access page. And on that page, we actually say who our provider for each one of these DIDs is. SIP number's just one that I recently found. There's Stanophone, and there's IP call. So, I mean,
I don't think Stanophone's accepting new
Stanophone,
Actually, we
Stanophone
just
a
got a
little while
phone
back
number tonight.
cut
Oh,
them
did they
down.
set it back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we have. We have a telephone number specifically for the conference, so that it makes the phones ring. Give it out to your friend. Say, hey, I'm standing next to the phone. Boom. Or
prank
whatever.
call the
Give it to a
conference.
pizza delivery guy. Put it on the
Good
street.
idea.
Yeah, maybe we get some interesting
it's
calls.
nice for anonymizing yourself, for instance. You know, if you
absolutely.
don't want to give out your cell phone number to Hope attendees, it's probably a good idea to just forward it all through your Asterisk box through one of these free DIDs.
Just to jump in for a second, since you all know how we can abuse our callers and all of our problems we've been having, we've kind of jumped over one of the most important aspects of the actual project, and that is the conference itself. In essence, it really brings back the old school freak community, and a perfect example of that is in China when the Great Firewall went up. We had callers coming from all over China calling into the conference and talking to us about things that were not being reported in the major media outlets. We were the first to know, because people found their way around the firewall to call our conference,
Yeah,
beating
I
their own
kinda-
system. And that, in essence, is really what Project Telephreak is about, is
I-
that
I think that Telephreak kind of embodies a libertarian idea of being able to have free speech no matter where you are in the world. So despite being in America, being in a foreign country, so long as you have internet access or telephone access, you can share your opinion or hear the opinions of others. I think that is a really important thing that a lot of people tend to overlook in Telephreak.
We want everyone to be able to use it. We want it to be free, and we're not interested
Most
in
of all,
pushing our
just have
politics
fun.
on anyone
I mean,
else.
that's
so.
what it's all about, you know, just having a bunch of guys just sitting around drinking beers all night on the conference, just
Well,
shooting
Beef drinks
shit.
beer all
you know.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
do too. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like it can be pretty fun. Like I've come up with some really creative stuff just by sitting around talking with Sleestack on the phone. you
beer
know.
makes me smarter, man. It's weird.
Well, it,
I don't know. It's like a vitamin or something.
it helps slow down the brain a little bit.
Yeah,
Helps you
maybe.
focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Any other questions at all?
One in the back.
Do you guys have any actual PSTN lines?
We
Yes.
used to.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, no, we used to.
Yeah,
was
we
that
used to
up
have
anymore?
No, that one.
850
I had to kill that one
942
when we
0599.
moved that office.
Well, then I'll get some up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to have some up, but through maintenance and just the changes of topology and time, I thought we had some up, but
Yeah.
it's possible we can
recently
do that and
moved
do like
data
free inbound
centers.
on it. But I'm
Well,
sorry.
Why would you want the copper to get the DID?
Well, why not? It's just use that type of equipment. Not a lot of people are doing it anymore, and so you have it. Like we got the junk laying around. It's like, hey, I got a DID with a phone line. Hey, I'll plug it in. Telephreak.
Well, yeah, actually, there's one other service out there too that's loosely connected with free world dial-up. That's I was trying to remember the name of it. I know what it does, but FWD out. That's
Yeah.
the name of it.
I think they shut that down.
No, it's still around, man.
I think they changed names, didn't they?
I was just there the other day, so.
Oh,
Anyhow,
we already did
that service, if you have a
Shows what
free
we know.
line, you can share it using Asterisk, and essentially accrue credits over a period of time. And for I think it's for every call that passes through your line, you get 10 credits, and you can dial anywhere that their dial plan will work in, and that's everywhere. It's a large list.
Sort of like torrent for telephone calls.
Yeah. Plus, it's really fun.
Essentially-
It's really fun to
essentially, if you
back
have-
spoof people too on that, because actually that was the first thing I did with it was call out and then to my own cell phone, of course, and see who I was using, where the line was and stuff. And so I called him up. I was like, "Wow, dude, you like Asterisk? That's kind of cool, man. You're like pretty close to me and stuff." And he was like, "Yeah, I love it, man, but I can't get a job doing it. So what are you guys doing?" And it was cool. So
Yeah, there isn't a lot of work out there for VoIP these days.
yeah, it's kind of saturated, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
Mostly in India.
Good hobby.
Cute.
So, on the Cam Project website, there's a picture that's been up for months now that says Asterisk radio boxes.
That's Ken's page.
Is
Okay.
that Ken's? I think
Yeah.
I know what he's talking
Cam
about.
Project.
So my question would be, what are those? And then my second question would be, I know you're really into radio. Have you incorporated your radio stuff into trying to connect into those telephones?
All right. Well, the first question, Gid a while ago wrote a project all freehand with PHP and just his Gidness called camproject.net, and it lets people just set up a cam, and it uploads via FTP, and it's just for cam, and it's easy, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a picture up there, and Ken, one of our permanent residents, is on the conference from
From Australia.
usually on.
Australia.
Ken's brilliant, by the way.
Is it the bottom one right there?
Yeah, he's down here at the bottom. He's the only guy who just doesn't update his
Asterisk.
picture at all.
It says Asterisk.
Okay, I think I know what it is, and there's some modules that come with Asterisk if you compile all the add-ons and stuff like that, and it's an Asterisk to radio interface, kind of like IRLP.net for ham radio, as well as, there's a couple of them, EchoLink. That one's bad. Don't use it. But there's also stuff for Asterisks to merge
Yeah,
radio
app
and
RPT.
Asterisks. And it's a nice way to do it, but no one's really capitalized on it. Probably because it's poorly documented and the hardware isn't easy to put together. So, ham operators, and they may be smart, but they still gotta plug stuff.
Requires a T1.
Ken is really do-it-yourself too, and he likes to do things his own way. And so I met him a long time ago, and took forever, but I finally sent him a card so he could try some stuff or whatever. And it's just a TDM card with 2 ports,
And then he buys Zays.
What's that?
And then he buys Zays.
Yeah.
So, and then your second question was if I've done any of that stuff. I've looked at it a lot and been kind of waiting for it to develop and mature a little bit more. I've done a lot of radio to voice over IP interfaces with IRLP, but I haven't done it with Asterisk. I'd really like to because the functionality is like endless. It's pretty awesome. No, it's two-way with IRLP. Yeah, and so like you can either do it from like asterisk to asterisk, or from phone to radio, or radio to radio with asterisks in the middle. I mean, the possibilities are endless with it. So I haven't done it yet, but I've been looking for the code base to develop a little bit more and get a little more documentation out of it.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to really fuck with it. But
Now, the thing about Asterisk is that it's a very malleable piece of software that's out there.
yeah, if you have the time, you can pretty much really make it do anything.
You can
I guess
literally
that's why they call it star. I mean,
you can
Asterisk.
literally do anything by interfacing a telephone to a computer, basically.
Yeah, you can even wipe out a server with it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I've met people who have built animatronic robots that interface through Asterisk. I've met people who have who have built little options to like turn off and on lights in their home just by calling their home phone number.
Yeah, we used to have some stuff, maybe some of it's still up, but like
Yeah.
scanners plugged in, you can call anywhere from Telephreak.
Yeah,
into
like you can
Telephreak and
listen
then
to radio
like
scanners
LAX,
right off of Telephreak
LAPD,
itself.
and-
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something,
Yeah,
Sid?
actually, you even listen to WBAI.
Yeah, we even have live radio streams right through Asterisk off of our main PBX.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it actually gives you a direct interface to just about any language on the system that you're
Yep.
using as well, through the AGI or actually straight through system calls
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. It's
Yeah,
pretty
through
cool.
either the AGI interface or through the manager interface, you're able to literally control Asterisk or have Asterisk control something for you, which is pretty cool. And the beautiful thing about Asterisk, it's all open source. I mean, we've been free to modify it, fuck with it as much as we like, and just put it out there. We do put our source code up on telephreak.org/code if anybody ever wants to check it out. That's what this page looks like here. It's fairly straightforward. Literally, whenever we write some little stupid script or modify another script, we literally just throw that piece of code up there on Telephreak. At the moment, I'm actually working on a couple of little panels, which I'll probably be publishing right after Hope this year. Basically, real straightforward. It just allows you to see all active channels on a current PBX. Like, for instance, this guy here from the 270 is called into our box, wherever he is. But we're able to see that this guy's coming in through Kentucky, and we can find out all the information on his service provider and all that stuff without really needing to do anything funky. Like,
One thing is, like when we're using just the normal Telephreak system, we don't give out anyone's caller ID or anything like that. There's only a few people who have access to the administrator functions of this, and that's like me, Beav, and Gid, and Stack. And
Right, and keep in mind we don't actually keep it logged. It's just
not
during
logged,
that
it's only
current,
on the fly,
that current
and-
session. So whenever you're connected up, as soon as you hang up, I mean, it's not getting dumped.
really,
in the log or
the
anything.
really the only information that's ever logged is who's in the blacklist file.
Right.
And in reality, like, if they're in that file and the feds come to bust us down, I'd prefer them to get busted too. So, they're in there for a point.
So a couple things that we do work on together is me and Gid are on the Usual Suspects radio. We do a small little radio show every Friday. And, we talk about sports for an hour. We're not big on sports, but our other co-hosts are. And then we talk about technology and security and politics for the latter half of the hour. And so a lot of people listen to it via the archive, but we're also broadcast live on the internet easily with Shoutcast. And then Saturday morning, we're out on the AM bands. So that's a project me and Gid work on. Yeah, KLAV 11. Yeah, we don't listen to it on the AM.
KLAV 12:30 a.m. in
So
Las
we work
Vegas,
on that
Nevada.
project together, and so we always troll people and talk about whatever's on our mind on the air.
Yeah,
and
whenever
so,
we're bored and just feeling like shooting the breeze. I mean,
Yeah.
we show up every Friday at a
yeah,
coffee
open
shop
mic
for
night.
the most
Anyone's
part.
welcome to call in or come troll us on the radio as well.
Yeah.
So, and it goes both ways. The other thing that we work together on is Beav and I host the IRC network for 2600. So
Just loads of laughs.
Yeah.
loads of laughs and fun, and but that's all about community and just making it work. I mean, all of us work on that together to keep our channels chatting and make it user friendly, I guess.
Yeah, just try
much
and
as
keep out the
possible.
bots. That's pretty much it.
And then think me and Jay Falcon, we do. Actually, I wrote a piece of software called iWar, and I've gotten really interested in calling remote or calling other countries repeatedly, a lot. And we do.
They want to be called. They really do.
Well, we
Yes,
would sit,
exactly.
like,
Iran
talk to each other
loves
until
getting on
4
the clock.
o'clock in the
Right.
morning, just talking about X25. It's
Yeah,
like, hey, do
these
you remember
guys
Telnet,
are-
man? Telnet.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
earlier
we
today,
actually- that
earlier
was-
today, I was
and we're
sitting
like, I
in the
wonder what other
booth up in
X25
Telephreak, and Jay Falcon over here had his laptop war dialing China.
Well, you know.
Like, what the hell, man?
Hey, they need
We got
they
a
need
got
love
firewall
too.
there, yeah. Well, you know, it's tit for tat. So.
Yeah, but Beeb wrote a really awesome piece of software called iWar, which I'm happy that we're actually posting and hosting that source code on Telephreak.
Yeah, and
he's
actually,
chosen to associate it with Telephreak is really awesome.
I found a great document from the Department of Homeland Security just recently, and it was an article from their, what was it, cybersecurity, whatever it was. It was about securing modems, and they said one of the top utilities. The first one they mentioned was iWar. I was like, yes, that's awesome.
Put that on your resume, baby.
Oh, it's totally gonna be on there.
And it's free, right?
Yes,
Homeland Security
yes.
Bulletin, August 2007.
Right.
As you can tell, we're kind of versatile group of developers. I mean, we're talking about Asterisk, we're talking about tons of different phone-related programs. We more or less have a very short attention span, so as you can tell, we're all seem to be working on different projects at the same time, but at the same, collaborating on the conference itself to bring it all together in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this entire conference, everything that you're going to experience in the Telephreak booth will literally have been made up on the fly. Like almost none of this stuff was pre-planned. Like we literally showed up the day before and said, "Hey, let's just start
Let's
putting
do
it
some
all together."
asterisks.
We literally got on the
Like
conference
the only
and said,
the
"Let's
only
do this."
pre-planning was like, okay, yeah, we're going to be buying this equipment.
I think you
That-
planned enough to crack.
No,
open
I
a
think that
beer.
we like bought a few hundred T-shirts or something like that. Is that
Yeah, we
right?
have some T-shirts, so if you want to be all telephonic with us, you can buy
Yeah.
those. We're not like we're making money on those. We're actually going in the hole on those. So just buy
Yeah,
them.
and there were some shot glasses way back when, but I think those are going to be kind of a collector's item for the elite few of Telephreak.
Yeah, we're looking for ideas for contesting too, because tomorrow we're going to focus a bit on inbound and contesting.
Yeah, this is entirely based off of ideas. Like it's all last-minute changes.
Yeah, we're going to give points for the most amount of contacts made versus how long the contacts were and that sort of thing.
Maybe the longest call, or not like time, but like distance.
I think the DTMF thing's a better idea.
Yeah, that would be like random digits generated over, an
For
interval.
DTMF and here identify them and
Yeah.
right. I thought that was the whole idea.
Yeah, can anyone read DTMF by ear?
I can, for the most part.
We'll have a contest for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be ready to drink when you're done.
And how many?
You know, when you
how
use
many
something
digits
long
can you
enough, you
remember
kind of get
here?
used to the sound of it, I suppose. You know.
That's cool sounding, man.
Yeah, you can kind of pick up DTMF if you really listen for it.
Kind of.
Telefreak Simon says, yeah.
There you go.
So is there anything we could learn by looking at your extensions.com for your SIP.com or anything like that? Or
No, that would be kind of private.
I think Beeve has like a weird AGI going down right now.
But sure, we're always willing to share any of the knowledge or any of the experience that we have, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
with
like
each
most
other.
of that stuff, you'll probably actually, more than likely, you'll probably see like the source code of everything that we've done here, like any software that we've written just for the Hope project so far, anything like that, we'll probably be posting pretty soon.
And the reason why I say that is because just by the nature of the configs of Asterisk and the way that it's set up,
Right,
there's
we
a
have,
lot
like,
of
admin
information in there that's
stuff and-
confidential. But
Oh yeah,
But the
and,
special
you know,
ways
if
that we
there's
set
like an
stuff up
exploit
and-
for one of my
I mean, they
panels,
share
I
all
don't
that.
exactly want to release it during the middle of the conference when everybody's using it. So, I mean, it's probably a good idea to hold off on that until
The reason
after.
I ask is 'cause, like I just started getting into it the past couple months and still like understanding dial plans and seeing how to
Mhm.
do things and stuff.
Yeah, it always helps to look at a clean extensions file without any of the original comment code in it.
Yeah, plus, we'll talk about it all day, man. You can
yeah,
come
like-
upstairs and
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
like,
phones
I'll
and
bitch
all
about
that stuff
Digium all
as
day
long as you
long
want.
if,
That's why we
if
have
I
it.
get
I
the
mean, we got
chance.
our own bridge. Anyone can call us and we'll just talk with you. So, but we keep this though in mind. We've had like a bajillion people call us who like just set up Asterisk. And so, not like we're like, RTFM, motherfucker. but the simple stuff, yeah, we'll be like, hey, just go look at that. And
Yeah, like we're always interested in helping out as best we can, but only to an extent where it doesn't
gonna do
involve
it
too
for
much
you.
time.
yeah, like Ken, I mean, he has a lot of great ideas and he's very innovative and whatnot, but a lot of times, if he's new to something, he'll just try to get you to do it for him.
Yeah.
And we don't play that game
No.
very well.
Yeah, we don't like to play that game. Homie the Clown don't play
Yeah,
that.
Ken's gonna hate our guts after this game.
He's never
Well,
gonna
he's
call in
actually
ever
like
again.
updating one of his cameras now on Cam Project, it appears.
Yeah, I was thinking about updating my cam while I was up here,
Yeah.
but
By the way, camproject.net is just like a little thing I've just been tinkering with building for a while now, and
It's
pretty
going to
much
just yet another project that
yeah, like I don't already have like 12 dozen of them already.
Yeah, I was gonna make a comment actually on the software that you're displaying there too, the management panel. Is
Yeah,
that what
like
you call it?
I haven't even shown you guys this yet, have I?
the new
No.
one, right?
well,
Yeah.
Seeing it.
That
Do it.
that is not publicly accessible in any way,
Yeah,
shape, or
this,
form, just so everyone knows.
Actually, this one will be soon,
I'm talking about in use.
but
That's-
currently,
it's for a
yes,
manager.
yes. This kind of item, actually, the specific one that I'm displaying now, is actually a heavily stripped down copy of one that I had been working on for a while. Basically, you'll see that I'm actually hiding the actual extension of every telephone number in this display. This is just so that some people have privacy who have called into our system. But I will be publishing the original source code to this.
But it is for administration, is what I was stressing.
It is for
Yeah.
administration and basically anybody to be able to look through their logs. But yes, only administrators should have access to something of this good of statistics.
Yeah, you want to lock that down nice and tight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're really big about that. We don't want to give up anyone's privacy or their phone numbers. Even the assholes that call in who are trolling us on the conference and just, screwing off or whatnot, we're not interested in dropping their DID or their caller ID or whatnot. We'll ban them, we'll block them, we'll talk
Only
smack
if they're real assholes, we might drop their.
wow.
But
Yeah,
even
freedom of
still,
speech
like-
is big, you know.
Still,
yeah,
yeah.
it's big for us.
We're
Big
not
for me.
dot
Yeah.
droppers.
Well,
I mean, maybe if
freedom of
it's the
speech,
PLA, we'll drop all their dots.
freedom of
but-
speech and privacy.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, I think that privacy
Never hate the
should count
PLA.
just as much as freedom.
In the back.
Have you guys played with any of the, was it NGCPA, the video teleconferencing stuff in Asterisk?
I have not. No.
I haven't either. No.
Yeah,
So,
I've
a lot of those
tinkered-
Actually, I have a little
I've tinkered
bit.
with some of the
It's
stuff
been a pain in the
that's
ass.
involved in SIP, but that's been about it.
Jay
That
Falcon
goes back to like the.
Well, yeah. I mean, I played a little. I've been trying to piece it all together. The last few months.
Yeah.
It's,
No, you
it's
guys are
just
giving
really
panel
broken.
tomorrow, right?
That's the thing. It's like the Asterisk is a great software platform, but there's a lot of things that are still definitely work in progress.
Yeah,
so
sort of like that. Echo
some of those other
translation.
protocols and codecs for the Cisco stuff is not complete, like the skinny, the MCGP, and all that. It's not really usable. It's insecure, and it's the feature
Also-
set's not there. It's
Yeah,
so a lot of that
also
stuff you can't really
Asterisk
use.
is constantly changing too.
Yeah.
Like 24/7, like every time you look around, Asterisk is changed. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
was
they're
talking
they're
to-
signaling us to stop here, so we better finish up.
I was talking to Sleestack about this earlier, but I mean, it's not as bad nowadays. But I remember literally having a bug issue with Asterisk, and then saying, "Well, I'll just pull down the latest, subversion, head or SV or I think it was SV or CVS, thank you." And then pulling that down and be like, "Oh crap, that totally fixed that bug. Oh wait, now there's two fucking more bugs to deal with." And just dealing with that all the time. And
all
I
the
still
time.
see even that occasionally.
And
Yeah,
I've
it's
done
like a game of chess, man. It's
I've done a
awesome.
lot of commercial installations for Asterisk, taking out old Nortel systems and replacing with Asterisk voice over IP systems. And I've had difficulties with their code, even their release stuff, where there's a little bug, and I have to work with Digium and their open source people and their commercial people to get them to fix stuff. Because their software's great, but there's still a lot of flaws that they have to work out in commercial environments or to be extra stable and compatible. And
Superior to the other ones? Because there's a couple, there's like
Yeah, there are other open source PBX platforms that are out there, like Trixbox and and
Trixbox
others.
is based
Free
off
Switch,
Asterisk, actually.
yeah.
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 I'm not really fond of any of the other ones.
But,
The only ones I've been able to use commercially and successfully just fooling around privately in experimentation is Asterisk.
Yeah.
The support's there, and it's constantly changing to get fixed and better.
Yeah, from anybody who can code, from their standpoint, it is the most malleable operating, or the most malleable PBX that I've ever seen personally.
And there's a ton of support for it there.
Oh, yeah.
There's us on irc.2600.net, and then there's #Asterisk on Freenode, and thanks.
Yep.
So there's a lot of
I guess
people
the
chatting about
IRC
it, talking
folks
about it, and are
coming in.
willing to participate and give support for it. And then you can also get commercial support for Asterisk as well. So not to plug those guys, they don't need any money.
We're actually VoIP-info.org also.
Yeah.
It's been around for a really long time.
My #1 resource for any problem with Asterisk has been
There's a lot of great
VoIP-info.
config examples and lists of providers in terms of DIDs and ATAs and equipment and outbound trunks, all that stuff. So it is. It's true.
Yeah.
Although sometimes it comes back around too, though, because a lot of times things, it seems like to me, like fall off, and then you go back there, like we were just talking about that earlier with something like all of a sudden it's back. You know, it's weird, but. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It does get outdated, and it is kind of like, it's a wiki, basically, so it's kind of community generated,
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff still. Like, and some of the old stuff actually kind of leads you to maybe solve a newer problem even, But. Anything else? Anybody want to ask?
What's that? Which one of us does the VMS stuff? Right here. Yeah.
The beef.
That weirdo on the end.
Yeah, and I also do. Well, actually, me and Jay. Oh, we all do weird shit. Just kidding.
We do.
We do the VMS stuff, and me and Jay Falcon are giving a talk tomorrow. It's going to have a lot to do with X25 networks and using VoIP and connecting and using modems, and it's going to be, I think,
Yeah,
really
are you
interesting.
going to be showing off iWar tomorrow by chance?
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
I
Like
mean,
90% of it, maybe, thereabout.
just briefly.
Just leave it war dialing the whole talk.
I think, yeah, we'll just have it on the screen.
Yeah.
Just go.
What do you think?
China,
Pakistan?
Iran.
I
thought
think
you were
that's a
getting
bad
some cool
idea.
stuff from Iran.
No, actually, we weren't getting any
We did
good
Iran.
stuff from
No.
Iran.
Oh, you're pulling all the
Unless
stuff
you
from
call it
Iran?
fax
Oh,
machine,
man.
cool stuff.
I'm sure I could fax some fun stuff to Iran.
Yes, that is correct. Hacking International Networks do VoIP.
Yeah, and it's always fun to listen to you guys chat about it and talk about it. On
Yeah,
Telephreak.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
pretty much between us, me and Jay Falcon, like when we sit around and we're talking about, hey man, what's a DNIC for, INET in India, and everybody else is around us. We're like such dorks. They're like, what the hell are you guys talking about? We're like, God, you gotta try
Yeah,
this.
if there's anything that
We'll
you're
come
going to
tomorrow and
take
you'll
from
find out.
Telephreak if you ever join the conference is that there's generally some interesting conversation going on, even if not everybody is talking.
Where
You
everybody
can
gets
generally
it.
get a couple of really weird people on there talking about some really interesting stuff.
Always.
Tom.
Shoot. Yes, it is.
Amen. Oops.
Well, if you're trying to like brute force, say, a pin to get to dial out or whatnot, typically what people do, and I think Jay Falcon, you can back me up on this, is you'll set up iWar to just call the same phone number and repeatedly try pins, and then try to dial out and get a carrier on the other side so that you'd have a way of knowing that the pin was correct or not.
Basically, what you'd have to do in iWar would be to like set up IAX2, so you can listen through your headset, your iPhone or whatever.
Well, actually, I was thinking about through a modem in that way.
Well, through-
but now a
The problem is getting
voicemail.
response. That's the thing.
Well, of course, you could run iWar as many instances as you want. I mean, but yeah, that shouldn't be a problem to do. I mean,
No.
but it's not threaded to speak that you could just start at one instance of iWar and have it spawn off 4,000 processes trying to do it. So you would have to, throw it in the background and just make a script file to just go through and do it for you.
Yeah, also, you guys can bug us on these questions tomorrow. Like, we're going to be here all week, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can catch us on 2600.net, the IRC network, or just call into the bridge, or
Yeah,
just come
pound
by the
Telephreak
table.
on irc.2600.net. Head up telephreak.org if you just want to get in contact with us. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, get your free phone calls while you can get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Free
plenty of
phone
money in
calls,
there
free
for now,
voicemail.
so
No.
If you
Only
pay for
POA.
it, yes. If you're going to sit at the table.
Nice.
Very pretty towns.
All right. Thank you.
Well, it kind of looks like we might be done. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
guys.
you.